From the golden classics to the modern masterpieces, we're watching them all so you don't have to. One list. Infinite worlds. Grab your snacks and gear up. It's time to cross another one off the list. Your weekly podcast. This is the Anime Bucket Quest podcast. Welcome and enjoy the ride.
Welcome back, strugglers, to a very special episode of Anime Bucket Quest. I'm your host, fonchize, and thank you so much for coming in, because this is a big milestone. And today we reach a monumental milestone, which is episode 10. And for this 10th quest, we are tackling not just an anime, but a legend. A towering monolith of dark fantasy that has cast its shadow over the entire medium for decades. Today, we review the 1997 classic Berserk. And I hope you like that intro I created. The lyrics were made by my own, but I'm going to give credit to the author for the domain-free music background, which I'll be posting in the episode description. And if you haven't subscribed to Anime Bucket Quest, make sure to do it now. You can find me on YouTube at Anime Bucket Quest. You also can find this available on audio platforms such as Apple Music, Spotify, Audible, and Amazon Music, and many other platforms. Without further ado, let's go ahead and kick off that guitar riff as we dive deep into the world that is Berserk. Before we begin, a serious content warning. Berserk is not for the faint of heart. It deals with incredibly dark and mature themes, including extreme violence, sexual assault, and intense psychological trauma. Listener discretion, and also viewer discretion, is absolutely advised. Produced by OLM and directed by Naohito Takahashi, this 25-episode series is based on the legendary manga by the late, great Kentaro Miura. It tells the story of Guts, a lone mercenary who knows nothing but the battlefield. He wields a sword impossibly large for a normal man and fights with a ferocity that earns him the name, quote, the Black Swordsman. His life changes when he crosses paths with the Band of Hawk, a charismatic mercenary group led by the beautiful, ambitious, enigmatic Griffith. Griffith sees something in Guts, a raw power and a refusal to die, and forces him to join the band. What follows is an epic Shakespearean tragedy of ambition, camaraderie, betrayal, and fate. We watch as Guts finds a family among the Hawks, forms a complicated bond with their female commander Casca, and is slowly drawn into Griffith's all-consuming dream of obtaining his own kingdom. A dream paved with blood. So, what was it like to watch the 1997 anime adaptation of Berserk? In a word, raw. This anime was made on a shoestring budget, even for its time. There are a lot of still frames, panning shots over static artwork, and limited character movement. But somehow, this limitation becomes its greatest strength. The art direction is phenomenal, often looking like a moving oil paintings that perfectly capture the gritty, medieval atmosphere of Miura's world. The stillness emphasizes the tension, the horror, and the melancholy beauty of the quiet moments. And then there is the music. The soundtrack by Suzumu Hirasawa is nothing short of legendary. From the haunting billet theme that plays when the fate's about to shift to the adrenaline-pumping forces, the music does a massive amount of heavy lifting. It creates an atmosphere of ancient cosmic dread and heroic struggle that is utterly unique. The storytelling is focused and intense. It frames the entire Golden Age arc, as a long flashback, starting with a glimpse of the broken, vengeful guts of the present, and then taking us back to see how he got there. The structure adds a layer of tragic irony to every victory the Band of Hawk achieves. We know it's all going to end fire and blood. Now, let's step onto the battlefield for our source material showdown. How does the 1997 anime compare to Kentaro Miura's magnum opus? First things first, the Berserk manga is widely considered one of the greatest artistic achievements in the medium's history. Miura's incredibly detailed, hyper-realistic artwork is unmatched. No anime could ever fully capture the sheer scale, intricate detail of his panels. The 1997 anime makes the smart choice to focus almost exclusively on the Golden Age arc, and the backstory of Guts and Griffith to fit this massive story into 25 episodes. A lot had to be cut. Entire characters like the Skull Knight are removed. Certain battles are shortened, and some of the most extreme graphic content from the manga is toned down, though it is still very graphic. However, as an adaptation of that specific arc, it is masterful. It captures the emotional core, the character dynamics, and the oppressive atmosphere perfectly. The biggest point of the contention is the ending. The anime ends in a massive world-shattering cliffhanger, the infamous eclipse right at its most horrific climax, offering zero resolution. For manga readers, this is the end of the prologue. For anime-only viewers, it's a traumatic, unresolved nightmare. It forces you to seek out the manga to see what happens next, which, honestly, it's the best they could possibly do. Before we wrap up, we had to talk about the legacy of Berserk. Kentaro Miura tragically passed away in 2021, leaving his life's work unfinished. But the impact of Berserk is immeasurable. It's established the dark fantasy genre in manga and influenced countless creators. You can see its DNA in everything from video games like Dark Souls and Elden Ring to other anime and manga. And don't worry, the manga itself is still going. Thanks to a close colleague to Miura Sensei, he was able to get as much to outline that Kentaro Miura wanted before his untimely passing. And his assistants are currently updating the chapters. So you can actually go and read Berserk as chapters are being available to read online digitally through subscriptions. And like I said, there's many other anime adaptations, but nothing beats the 1997 version. At its core, Berserk is a story about the human struggle against an uncaring, preordained fate. Griffith represents someone who embraces destiny and sacrifices everything, including his humanity, to achieve his dream. Guts is the struggler, the man who defies fate at every turn, fighting against impossible odds just to survive one more day. It's a story about trauma, healing, finding a new family, and then having it ripped away again. It asks hard questions about ambition, morality, and what it truly means to be human in an inhumane world. The 1997 anime is the perfect gateway into this profound, challenging, and deeply moving saga. So, is Berserk worthy of your anime bucket list? Absolutely. It is an essential piece of anime history. Despite its dated animation, it tells one of the most powerful, tragic, and compelling stories ever committed to the screen. It's a flawed masterpiece that will stick with you long after the final horrific credits roll. Unfortunately, you got to go through third-party means to enjoy this wonderful anime. Available both in dub and sub. I ended up watching it in the sub, but I heard it does pretty well. There was a Blu-ray anniversary release on Amazon. You can probably find it there as well. Or you can find episodes available on YouTube. If you're ready to face the darkness, to witness a story of friendship, betrayal, and the indomitable human spirit, then you must watch Berserk. Just prepare to be changed by it. If you, like I said, if you want to continue that story, make sure to pick up the manga as well, so you can see read about the other content that didn't make it to the anime. So, that's it for this milestone 10th episode of Anime Bucket Quest. I've been your host, the fonchize. Keep struggling. I'll see you on the next adventure.